All right, geometry students, welcome to your first video. This is chapter 1, section 3, and we are going to turn to our textbooks, page 20. Now listen up, I am taking notes. I'm helping you along. You're going to answer some stuff on your own as I tell you to in the videos, but this is a recording, so that means you can pause if you missed what I said. You can rewind if you need to hear it again, and you can always come back and watch it before the next assessment so that you can refresh it. And in fact, you can probably watch it at more than 1x speed when you are refreshing the material before an assessment. So you should have your textbook ready. It is best that you do not use the online textbook as you do this. And then you should also have a notebook ready. I'm going to switch to my document cam. But your notebook's ready. There's going to be some stuff on the page refreshing what I just said about where we're going to be in case you missed it. And let's get ready to learn about midpoints. So I'm switching over to my document cam, and I don't really like how that is. So, well, I didn't like how the video looked on my end, so I paused the video, and then there was a cut, and here we are again, and everything should be going well. So this is chapter 1, section 3, midpoint formula part 1. There will be a part 2 to the midpoint formula before I move on. We are on pages 20 to 21 in the textbook. I'm going to do numbers 1 and 3. You are going to do numbers 2 and 4. All right, now this is geometry, and you get a good idea when you have the definitions and you have the vocab. So right now, you should pause this video after you know what to write down in your notebook, and that is the core concept on page 20. All right, so you need to write down the definition of midpoint, the definition of segment bisector, and you might as well have those visuals in your notes to get a better idea. So you should have by now paused and resumed, and you're ready to move on to number 1. Keep in mind, I'm not copying down the core concept. It's in your textbook. You can copy it down. All right, but I do insist that you draw things out, and so I will draw it out as well to have a better idea. A lot of you did say that you were visual learners when you filled out your getting to know you. Okay, now there are some little markers here showing us that PM and MQ, line segment PM, line segment MQ, are congruent. That is a fancy way of saying equal in geometry. And we know that line segment PM is 1 7/8 units long, and we want to identify the segment bisector of PQ, and then we want to find PQ. So first off, the segment bisector. Well, if PM is congruent to MQ, then that means that MN is the segment bisector. And what kind of line is this? It's a ray. So it starts at M and it goes in the direction of N, and it keeps going on till infinity. All right, so I identified the segment bisector of PQ. Now I want to figure out how long is line segment PQ. Well, that's pretty simple. If I know that this is half of this plus this is equal to this, add these two together. So we're talking about 1 7/8 plus 1 7/8. And well, at this point, if I were you, I would get out a calculator, add them together, make sure you know how to add fractions on your calculators. And we know that it's 3 3/4. Let's say you don't have a calculator. Well, 1 plus 1 is 2. 7/8 plus 7/8 is 14/8. 8 goes into 14 another time. What's left over? 6/8, and that simplifies to 3/4. So here are our two answers for the segment bisector of line segment PQ and the length of line segment PQ. Now you are going to go ahead and answer number 2. And if this is on Edpuzzle, you are going to put your answer into the multiple choice. Now we are moving on to number 3. Okay, this is on page 21. We want to identify the segment bisector of line segment PQ one more time, and then we want to find MQ. All right, this is a great question because it shows me which students are willing to go the extra step to actually get the answer. So I am doing my best to copy this down as accurately as possible. You should as well. Don't forget, you can pause. It looks like line segment PM is congruent to line segment MQ. All right, and then we want to find M2. First off, let's go back to the directions because this is math class. There are multiple directions. What is the segment bisector of line segment PQ? That is line L. All right, so that's one answer right there. Box it. And then finally, we want to find MQ. Well, I know that PM is equal to MQ. So I can set up this equation. Then I can add 2x to both sides. I can add 3 to both sides. I can divide by 7. So I know x is 2, and this is where a lot of kids stop, but you are not correct if you stop there. The question, the directions say find MQ. I just found x. So let me go ahead and plug that in. 2x for MQ. 11 minus 4 is 7. So line segment MQ is equal to 7 units. If you missed why I did that, pause, rewind right now. And you're going to go ahead and try number 4 on page 21 and answer it in Edpuzzle as well. Stay tuned for part 2.